If you want your kids to be order-following conformists and propagandized patriotic public school parrots, do not watch this video. People ask me all the time, "Hey Brian, do you really use that keto elevate stuff and does it really work?" The answer is yes and yes. Never in my entire life have I lost body fat so quickly. Not even in my prime at 25, which is over 25 years ago. I'm approaching 54 this year. If you want to support the channel and do your health a favor, grab some with my link in the description. Do you really want your kids to take a back seat and just have somebody else do their thinking for them? If you do, what kind of parent are you? The number one job of a parent is to educate their kids. That's the number one job. Keep them safe, educate them, take care of them, body, mind, and spirit, and have them question things. Question everything. Why should we do this, teacher? Why do you have us standing here with our hands over our hearts, regurgitating something that you think that we should say? What good is that? What good is that doing me? Is that building my character? Is that causing me to critically think? Is this having me, is this breaking me out of the mold of cognitive dissonance, or is it cementing me further in it? And I understand the power of patriotism, guys. Patriotism is a fairly easy pill to swallow because I can see how a lot of people can be on board with it. But patriotism is deadly. It's dangerous. Don't you think the Germans, the SS, don't you think they were patriotic for God and country? But what would they do for God and country? What principles would they have to trample over? What morals did they have to bend in order for them to be fine in their own hearts with doing what they were about to do? And that's just one example of many examples that you give in the annals of history where people actually destroyed any kind of semblance of morality they would have to destroy their own countrymen for the sake of patriotism. Patriotism is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. It's brainwashing. It's embroiling yourself checking yourself in the cult of personality. No, it's something that's absolutely vital. If we don't stick together, united we stand, divided we fall. Yeah, but what are you going to be united over? I totally agree with united we stand, divided we fall, but what are you going to be united over? Patriotism? And who's going to define patriotism? Who's going to define what a patriot is? Who's going to be out there saying, no, it's an absolutely moral thing to follow your government to the gates of hell? Following a government is not a good idea, because what is a government? Governo and mentis. The governo means to control. Mentis means the mind, to control the mind or mind control. It's somebody who wants to control your mind and try to get you to think that is absolutely moral for a few people at the top to demand that you follow their rules. And if you don't, then those people at the top reserve for themselves the right to punish you if you disobey. And they believe further that you are morally obligated to obey their rulership and their edicts and their commands and their policies and their regulations, or you're a bad person. That's not, I wouldn't call that patriotism. And if it is, I want nothing to do with it. So you tell me, do you want to be patriotic? Because what is statism anyway, but the brilliant idea that we give a small group of people the right to kidnap, imprison, harass, steal from, and kill people so that we can all be protected from other people who kidnap, harass, steal from, and kill people. Makes no sense. It's not logical. It's not rational. It's not morally based. So when I spread a meme like this is not what you should want for your children. People get pissed off at me and go, you're anti-American. Guess what? This makes me pro-American because I want every American man, woman, child to be thinking for themselves and not cementing themselves into the perils of cognitive dissonance and not locking themselves into the echo chamber of insanity, surrounding themselves with other people who are going to put their hands over their hearts and just brainlessly say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Well, what is the United States?
Title 28, Section 3002, 15A says it's a federal corporation. Do you want your little ones pledging their allegiance? Are you going to pledge your allegiance to the federal bureaucracy and corporation called the United States government? United States means federal corporation is exactly what Title 28, Section 3002, 15A says. So are you going to pledge your allegiance to that corporation? Probably not a good idea. They're probably going to lead you and your children's hearts down the wrong road, make you at the end of it look absolutely unrecognizable. And I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about who you are, speaking to you as a person. So we don't need this statist idea of patriotism. It's deadly, and historically, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it looks like that's just where we're going to go. Look at the NFL football games. What does it look like they are? That they're basically sponsors for the military-industrial complex. They have the Blue Angel flyover. You got the stealth fighters and stealth bombers, and it's all patriotic. Oh, the land of the free. And they glorify and put on a pedestal servicemen. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Why would you thank any military man for his service of being a pawn in the military-industrial complex, doing the bidding of trillionaire masters? Why would you ever thank somebody? Once you find out what the military is all about, once you've heard the speech of Eisenhower warning us to guard ourselves against the dangers of the military-industrial complex, you can't unhear what you've heard. You can't unsee what you've seen. You already know what, maybe that military man when he was 18, 19, 20, when he enlisted in the army, maybe he had good intentions, but good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. Just like Daniel Webster said, it's hardly too strong to say that the Constitution was made to guard the people against the dangers of good intentions. There are dangers attached to good intentions. Maybe when they signed on the bottom line, they're like, I want to fight for freedom. I want to fight for democracy. But when they got in, they knew full well what was going on. Here's a gun, go kill for us. What is war? When they're putting a military man on the battlefield, what is that? It's legalized mass murder. That's what it is. So you're going to thank that military man for wasting your resources, because that's the only way you can get a military industrial complex off the ground is by steal money from the tax cattle and give it to the defense contractors and the military industrial complex, and go stick a rifle in some kid's hand so that he can kill somebody on a foreign land that you don't even know. Just blowing away families in the name of democracy. Oh, they don't like democracy? Well, we'll shove democracy. We're coming to shove democracy down your throat. You families in grass huts living in some sandbox somewhere, we're just going to go ahead and blow you up, from a drone 2 miles away. You'll never see it coming. Like, who was it? Obama saying, I can't remember. I think he was talking about the Jonas Brothers. I got 2 words: a predator drone. You'll never see it coming. And everybody's all laughing. Ha ha ha, predator drones. That's why I'm against patriotism, because typically patriotism, the way it's displayed, is blind, and it doesn't give a damn about morality. It just gives a damn about national fervor, national allegiance to your nation, no matter what. Really? You got to do a whole lot of trampling over your conscience to get that off the ground. It might be a good idea while you still can to convert your fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. Use my link in the description and get $100 off instantly for this survival food. Do it while you still can, because guys, I cannot guarantee that they're going to have this available in the future.